You know that one friend who always drags you into things you shouldn't do? For me, that's Rachel. She's the one who said, "Let's sneak into the old Walmart tonight. Creepy pics for my feed. Imagine the likes." Maya went because she hates being left out. And me? Well, I was tired of always saying no. But the second we stepped inside, I knew we'd made a mistake. The place reeked of mildew and rust, thick enough to taste. Ceiling tiles sagged, black mould bloomed on the walls, and the shelves were empty and grey. It was dead, forgotten, until we saw it. At the far end of the store, one aisle glowed with buzzing fluorescent light. Unlike the rest, it was spotless, shelves packed, colours bright. Rachel grinned, raising her phone. Jackpot! But my chest tightened. The buzzing felt alive, like the aisle wasn't just lit, it was waiting. We walked closer, and that's when I noticed the products. Cereal boxes with no names, shampoo bottles with no labels, dolls with smooth, blank faces. Rachel forced a laugh. It's like a backrooms level. Her voice cracked. The deeper we went, the heavier the air grew. Each step dragged like walking through water. Maya froze. Did you hear that? Footsteps behind us. We turned, nothing there, but the sound kept going, echoing through the aisle like someone invisible was walking with us. The shelves leaned closer now, narrowing the path, shadows shifting in ways they shouldn't. Then came the whisper, low, distorted. "Keep going." I grabbed Rachel's arm. "We need to leave." But she wouldn't move. Her eyes were locked on the light at the end of the aisle, glowing brighter, almost pulling her in. We reached the end and stopped dead. There was no exit, no storage doors, just a mirror. It stretched floor to ceiling, impossibly clean, reflecting us back. But the reflections weren't us. Mine grinned, lips stretching too wide. Rachel's eyes were black voids. Maya's face was smooth, erased like wax. I stumbled back. The shelves slammed shut behind us with a sound like a jaw snapping closed. Trapped. Then the reflections moved. Mine tilted its head, smile widening. Rachel's lifted a hand and scratched the glass with nails too long. Maya's blank face rippled, like something beneath was clawing to escape. One by one, they stepped out. Their hands were cold when they grabbed us, too strong, pulling. The last thing I saw was my own face, grinning as it dragged me into the mirror. Now, when the lights flicker in that dead Walmart, people say one aisle still glows, stocked, waiting. And if you look too closely at the glass, you might see me smiling back. Would you dare step inside?
You ever get that feeling someone's watching you? It started for me, just another late-night Walmart run. The parking lot was almost empty, carts rattling in the wind like bones. And then I saw him. A man, tall, motionless, stood under the farthest lamppost. His face was hidden in shadow, but I felt his eyes on me. I blinked, shook it off, looked again. He was closer. My throat go dry. I hurried inside, letting the sliding doors swallow me into buzzing fluorescent light. The store was too quiet. Just a couple of shoppers drifting aimlessly, carts squealing on the linoleum. I told myself I was imagining it, just nerves. But then I saw him again. At the far end of the shampoo aisle, perfectly still, head tilted slightly towards me. I ducked into the next row, heart hammering. When I picked out, he was already there, halfway down the cereal section, watching. I never saw him move. I pushed my cart faster, the hum of the lights crawling into my ears. Passing the freezer doors, my breath hitched. I saw his reflection in the glass. He was just behind me, closer than ever. I spun around. The aisle was empty. Shaking, I abandoned the cart and hurried to check out. The cashier didn't even glance up as I dropped items on the belt. My eyes darted toward the doors, and my stomach turned. He was outside. Standing in the rain beyond the glass, head tilted, staring in. I paid in a panic, snatched my bag, and ran for my car. The drive home blurred through streaks of rain and flashing headlights, but every time I checked the rearview mirror, my chest tightened. He was there. First on the roadside, then on the overpass, then in the shadow of my neighbour's yard, closer each time I looked. By the time I pulled into my driveway, my hands shook so badly I almost dropped the keys. I sprinted to the door, fumbling with the lock, finally slamming it shut behind me. Relief hit me. Safe. Finally safe. Until I turned toward the window. He was standing in my yard, perfectly still, head tilted, watching. The lights flickered once, twice, and then he was closer, right at the glass. His shadow pressed against it, face unreadable. I stumbled back, whispering, "Don't look, don't look, don't look." I squeezed my eyes shut, fists clenched, breath ragged. When I opened them, he was inside. Have you ever felt like someone was following you?
I should have known better than to shop this late at night. But sometimes when the day's been long, Walmart feels like the only place open. Bright aisles, quiet shelves, a place to disappear. That night, the parking lot was nearly empty. Just my car, rows of carts rattling in the wind, their clattering almost human. Inside, the air felt stale, humming with fluorescent lights that buzzed too loud in the silence. I was halfway down the dairy aisle when the intercom crackled. Static screamed through the speakers. Then a flat, lifeless voice said,
"Attention shoppers, the store is now closed. Please proceed to the exits."
My heart skipped. I checked my phone. 11:43 p.m. Walmart didn't close until midnight. I left the milk behind and hurried to the front. The automatic doors didn't open. Chains were wrapped tightly around the handles, padlocked like they'd been waiting just for me. The intercom crackled again. This time, the voice was softer, closer.
"Proceed to the exits, Sarah."
My name. The cold that spread through me was like ice water. I ran to another set of doors, locked. Another, still locked. The silence pressed in so heavy that even my footsteps sounded like intrusions. Then the lights at the far end of the store flickered out. Entire sections fell into darkness, one after another, like the building was swallowing itself whole. I ducked into a side aisle, chest pounding. That's when I saw it. Movement. A figure sliding between shelves. Too tall, too fast. "Hello?" My voice cracked, tiny in the endless aisles. No answer. When I turned back, the mannequins from the clothing section weren't where they had been. They stood at the end of the aisle now, angled toward me. Their stiff arms reached out. Their painted smiles gleamed in the failing light. I stumbled backward into housewares. Pots and pans glimmered faintly on the shelves. From the corner of my eye, something darted past. I whipped around. Nothing. But when I looked again, The mannequins had moved closer. The intercom screeched.
Sarah, proceed to the exits.
I bolted. Checkout lanes blurred past me. Empty registers, receipt printers vomiting endless streams of blank paper that trailed across the floor like ribbons. The scanners beeped on their own, shrill and sharp like screams. I needed help. I spotted the customer service desk glowing faintly. I sprinted, leapt over the paper coils, and skidded behind the counter. The phone was dead. No dial tone. Just silence. But the security monitors flickered on. Every screen showed me. Me walking down aisles, me pushing carts, me scanning items, dozens of me looping endlessly. And then, one of them stopped. She stared directly into the camera and smiled. Every light in the store went out at once. Darkness swallowed everything. The only sound left was footsteps. Slow, heavy, right behind me. And when I turned, it was me. Have you ever been inside a Walmart so late it felt like the store itself was watching you?
Stay spooked. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more chilling stories.